And we're live. Hello, everybody. Let me go ahead and shoot this thing out to Discord. I only just scheduled this about an hour ago. I've been really bad at that lately, and I apologize. Hopefully y'all heard about it. What's going on, Gordo Rokos? Welcome, welcome. Today, I got a couple of requests on the last stream that we never made a stream talking about the campaign or playing the campaign, which is interesting because I love the campaign. I made a video. I should say I started making a video. I wrote a whole script talking about the campaign. I recorded it all. I didn't end up making it fully because I didn't think it was funny don't it came off as just me ranting and talking about the campaign. I love it. There's nothing to really. I mean, there's some stuff to complain about. Don't get me wrong, but I really think that this campaign is the best that we've had in 10 years. And because I didn't make that video, I didn't really have a chance to talk about it. So we talked about it a little bit on last stream. So I figured let's make a whole ass stream dedicated to it. You're almost late and I almost rioted. Well, thankfully, no rioting has to happen now. Today. What's going on, Professor Frog? How would you improve the campaign? Man. Okay, so I put in the thumbnail. This is going to be fully spoilers. Fully spoilers for the entire campaign. I'm actually playing the final mission on my PlayStation right now because I forgot. I forgot that I didn't actually finish it here. So 1 second. Let me figure out what I'm doing here. The thing that I would change, I think, would have to do something with the ending, to be honest. Highest score. Oh, high score is a 9. High score is a 9. Wait. But then what happened to the badges? Wait, where can I see the badges? No, that's the score thing. There's the badges. It's 6 trophies, right? Hold on a second.
Count them all and let's begin.
Trophies minus badges. There's 6 trophies. 5 badges. That should be 1, right? Am I crazy? Am I insane? 916? Desk Scouts Tea Party. Desk Scouts Tea Party. I'm not good at this. Give it a more concrete ending. To be honest, I liked the ending. I liked that it was kind of ambiguous whether or not what's his name lived or died. I swear I'm going to get into it in a minute. What am I doing wrong here? The highest score on the desk. The highest score is a 9, right? It's a 9. Seek the highest score. And the desk is number 1. So you get 9. Cool. I got 9. After that, the guess at the tea party. Wait, is it 8? Hold on. God damn it, it was 8. I for some reason I was counting the doll as her. Okay, all right. That's all I'll play the first mission for right now, at least. Or of this part of the mission. Good note, spoilers, I haven't seen it all yet. Yeah, so if you haven't and you care about spoilers, maybe click away now. So, Emergence is the best level in years. IMO feels very Effect and Cause from Titanfall 2. I didn't play Titanfall 2. I've heard a lot of people call it, though, the Doom level, and I fully agree with that. I think it's a fantastic mission. I'm still trying to rack my brain of, what I would actually change. Outside of, some small, character moments I think could be built better. I think... Oh, you know what? Here's what I'll change. Hold on. Let me go out to the campaign menu. I think that, by and large, the characters are very well done in this game. It felt like an improvement to Cold War, in that I felt like I actually got to know them a little bit more. I think Seva's a great character. I think Felix is a great character. Marshall, even Jane, She kind of shows up at the end a little bit more than throughout. Like, tell me if anyone else feels this way. So when you play through the campaign, shit happens, right? You get to the safe house, and then once you get to the safe house, you're like tasked basically with building your team, right? You and Marshall, and Woods. And so you go off to recruit Sev, right, in this mission, Blood Feud. But then while you're doing that, Marshall is off getting Felix. And then so you have like this intro mission to Sev, but then Felix just kind of shows up there. It almost feels like a mission might have been missing. Like, it would have been cool to have like a fork in the road where you can either pick to do the mission for Sev or for Felix first, and then recruit them, like have two missions for each. Obviously, I don't know what the hell that Felix mission would be like, but I feel like if there was any character of the team that was less developed, but still had like an interesting like potential, it would have been him. Like, he had like this weird like pacifism role, but then like in the middle of the what was it? This mission, the High Rollers mission, he just started killing people for I guess not for no reason, but like, I feel like they could have like worked some kind of like non-lethality into him when you play as him here, and like either that or like build into it a little bit more with him of like dealing with the fact that he was killing people, or like he was pushed to that edge or something. I feel like there could have been something more with Felix, you know? Because there was a lot with Sev, right? I feel like she had a very coherent story. And then of course with Marshall and even Woods, although I think Woods like needed a little bit more. And if I had to guess, though, we're going to see more of Woods throughout the post-launch and potentially whatever's next, based off of the final cutscene. But I think Woods and Felix both really didn't have, like, a lot. They had, like, the concepts of a storyline there, but, like, they didn't really go anywhere. You know what I mean? Which we could have had maybe a flashback scene, like in BO2. Oh, dude, I was so expecting David Mason to show up. Maybe he still will. To be honest, I think they just wanted to avoid touching on anything that could be like the future. You know what I mean? Speaking of the ending, I really wish the ending was a lot more violent. They hype up the cradle as this ultra-violent rage gas, but then you finally get fully exposed to it and you strangle Jane. Felt kind of like a letdown. Interesting. I didn't feel that way at all. I think, for me, when they set up the cradle as like... when they set up the cradle and then reveal Jane, they do that via like a found videotape that has like, them using the cradle on, two test subjects. And the entire time, because like they're exposed to it and then they go just fucking berserk and start attacking the other one. The entire time I was clenched, like, please do not let out a zombie scream. I thought for a minute they were going in this, like, hey guys, we developed zombies kind of, like, direction. I'm very glad that they didn't. But for a minute it started to feel that way. So when we got to the ending and it wasn't super violent, it was like, oh, this is just a normal person beating down another person. To me, that was a positive. Because it's like, oh, okay, we aren't breaking into supernatural territory here or anything, We're still in the universe. It is a very weird thing, though. Like why? I guess they're just tired of like doing the whole like fucking Nova 6 gas thing that they're like, all right, let's come up with a new way that this bioweapon can manifest. Maybe, I don't know. What do you think about the section with the mannequins and emergence? I was not expecting horror to be a gameplay element. Yeah, I loved how this game was very much not Call of Duty at times. There was that mission, Emergence, and there was another one that just felt like it completely... What one was it? Oh, I think maybe Under the Radar? I'm the fucking final mission. They interwove a lot of elements of, like, puzzle solving and, like you said, horror and, like, sneaking around, stealth shit. I really, really love that. One thing that they said, I think at the initial reveal for BO6, was they said that for the campaign they were focusing on making each mission feel big, like feel like it's like memorable, I guess, iconic. I feel like in recent CODs what was the last like iconic mission in Call of Duty? And why is it back in 2019 for clearing house, right? Like, I can't think of a single iconic mission in MW23. Maybe in MW22, you have Violence and Timing, which is the one where you're gas and you fall out of the helicopter onto a car and then you're jumping from car to car. But that's only iconic because it's not very good. Nothing in Vanguard. Maybe there's something in... Oh, maybe the Kremlin mission in Cold War. The point is that there's like one mission every like 3 or 4 games. In my opinion, this game has like 4 like really, really solid iconic missions. Most Wanted, this one right here at the Bill Clinton rally, fantastic mission. Hunting Season, I made a video on this. This is the open world mission. Emergence, we were just talking about before, fucking phenomenal. One of the best missions we've had ever. High Rollers, I think, is a really good mission as well. It's the heist. And I would even consider the final mission to be really, really good. We have like a lot of good ones in here, which is phenomenal. Story DLC when? Dude, I want it. So the ending, I wish I could show it, but you know what? Actually, I might be able to swap inputs over. Hold on. Why didn't I think to do this before? One second, y'all. So I played this initially the day before the game actually launched by changing my Xbox to New Zealand. And so I played the entire campaign. Yeah, that should be fine. I played the entire campaign on my Xbox. And not on my actual like PlayStation where I usually play. So that's why I didn't actually have everything. But yeah, let me pull this up because this will be good. We can like look through some cutscenes or something. Side note: congrats on getting your first sponsor. Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it. I appreciate y'all not all hating that video. It's a good product. Anyway, let's see. Titanfall 2 is very fun with multiplayer, a steep learning curve. Yeah, a mix of Infinite Warfare and Transformers. Yeah, I played, I think, the beta for Titanfall 2's multiplayer. And I just couldn't do it. I just didn't like it. I've heard it's incredible. I've heard the single player especially is incredible. Maybe one of these days, if it's on Game Pass or something, I'll give it a look. I think it's like $4 though. like anywhere I could probably buy it. But to be honest, that mission scared the living shit out of me. But you feel like Affecting Cause with a lot more scare. Oh, is Affecting Cause? That's a game. I don't think I know that game. Affecting Cause. Like I said, a lot of people are comparing it to Doom. Thought it was on Game Pass? Oh, maybe it is. Oh, I'm sorry. We were just talking about this. Affecting Cause is the mission in Titanfall. Got it. Okay. I got lost. Seeing that the bosses in Emergence are all from Cold War, I suppose this mission was developed sometime after Cold War's life cycle ended, before they started making the new zombie enemies. It's possible. It's also possible that, like, they didn't want to... like use the same enemy. Like, what even new enemies are there in BO6 zombies right now? There's the amalgam, and is that it? And then like the actual, boss on Terminus. Is there another one that I'm missing? Hold on, why can't I not think? When I saw that they were just zombie bosses reskinned, I kind of want. All right, so hear me out. What if... Oh, the vermin. That's a good point. Deadly. And chicken hat. What if they pulled that mission and put it into zombies? The entire time I'm playing it, it reminded me so much of, like... there was a custom zombies map for BO3. I cannot remember what it was. It was called like Fear or something like that. Or it was just like a one-word, very succinct thing. And if you played Custom Zombies, you probably know it. It's very, very Nightmare. That's what it was, chicken. Thank you. Nightmare. And it was this like linear, like it was a map, but it wasn't round based. It was this linear thing where like you progress through the map. And I was kind of like, man, what if they would bring the emergent single player level like into Zombies? Like, would that be a cool like speed run map or something? Because it's such a cool experience. It's just buried in the single player that I'm afraid, I don't know, won't get replayed as much as maybe it should. But I was also I was really happy because there's 4 corners of that emergence level. 3 of them were Zombies bosses, and then the last one was mannequins, like Weeping Angel mannequins, where like they move if you don't look at them, sort of thing. And so I was starting to get disappointed because that was the final one that I did. I did the other 3 and they were all zombie bosses, and I was like, oh, okay, this is cool, but like, it's whatever. And then I got to the mannequins, and it's like, oh, okay, they actually did go above and beyond here, What is going? Oh, because I didn't. Hold on, guys. I'm a dumb. I gotta change my inputs back. 1 minute here. I forgot to sign out of this account. Or rather to sign out here to log in. One minute again. They thought I was 2-boxing. That's what it is. I probably have to reset this fully. They definitely should have made 2 Mangler bosses in Emergence. 2 Manglers? Oh, shouldn't have made 2 Manglers. Wait, were there 2 Manglers? Am I crazy? There was the Mimic, the Mangler. There was the mannequins. Oh shit, was there a second Mangler? Am I crazy? Should have been a Megaton. I like that. I did also appreciate that like they did update their like the models. They weren't exactly the same. They were all like black and swarmy. I don't know how else to describe it. The red mannequin was a Mangler too. Oh, you're right, it was. Yeah, no, because the first one, the yellow one, was Abomination, right? At least that one was different though, in that it had, it wasn't like just a straight up Mangler that time. There's a whole mannequin aspect to it. Emergence could be worked into a Zombies map like previous campaign missions. Yeah, I wonder what the DLC season is going to look like for this game, Zombies wise. Because I mean, like you said, a lot of, Cold War, they were all basically pulled from the campaign. It'd be so cool to get like that facility as a Zombies map. Was that custom? I thought it was just built into BO3. Oh, Nightmare? No. Yeah, no. Nightmare was a custom map, but it's one of a surprising amount of zombie maps that are like Treyarch quality, Okay, here we go. Now we have everything. Now we can go into challenges. I don't have all the challenges done. By the way, just like on a game level, but I kind of started this whole thing in the middle as well. Nightmares was built into BO3 though, the Goofy Zombies campaign. Oh! I think yeah, we might be getting confused. Nightmares was a separate mode made by Treyarch that was there at launch where they just replaced all of the campaign enemies with zombies. Very, very strange. But yeah, there is a Zombies map that came out. I want to say it only came out like maybe in 2020 or something like that, called Nightmare. And that was a Zombies mode. It was a Zombies experience that like took you through a thing. I'm realizing now I completely forgot that Nightmares existed. That's fucking hilarious that it is there. that it's named like the same thing, same game, same concept. Not same concept, but like a similar, But yeah, so when I say that BO6 is the best campaign that we've gotten in like 10 years, I put it up against 2019. I talked about this a little bit on stream last time, so I'm not going to like fully repeat myself. But in my head, the previous King of the Castle was 2019. I loved the 2019 campaign. The grittiness of it, the realness of it. I loved how they kind of incorporated old characters, but they didn't like overdo it, you know? I loved missions like cleaning house. It felt nice. It felt good. Black Ops 6 went for a completely different vibe, and I fucking love it. What I said last time was that at some point after the golden age of COD, I think this happened like globally to like most games. And I'm not even necessarily about to say it's a bad thing, but at some point in like the early 2010s, 2012, 2014, games started like figuring out that like, oh, people really like these stories. Like video games now can be like this piece of art that people watch and they, I guess in some cases watch, but they play through and they have like an emotional connection, and like it's an avenue to tell a good story, right? And it felt like just every game just like started, we need a banger story with this. We need like story started driving design decisions, and development was driven more by the story. And gameplay was more or less like a means to an end, right? I especially think it's that way with like COD. Like the last few like CODs have been very much the same, very, very formulaic, and it's just kind of a means to tell a story and then eventually get you into multiplayer. This is the first game in a long time that actually feels like a video game. That doesn't feel like it's a fucking tech demo of like, hey, check out this thing that we're going to use as a kill streak in multiplayer. Like the things that they set up here, one, are unique to the campaign, but also build on each other throughout the missions, right? You have things like the backpack system that shows up. I think you might even start the fucking game with it, and it's in every single mission. It's not like MW22 where they set up the backpack and you have it for one mission here and then another one like way down the line. It's built into the gameplay from the ground up that you have this backpack, that you have homing missiles and, homing knives and the mines and all kinds of cool gadgets that like you can kind of rock, paper, scissors your way through each, encounter with. You have things like the safes, you have the money system, you have all of these different puzzle solvers, right? You have the keypad and the waves that you have to make bigger and smaller, the hacking mini game. And they each build on each other throughout the fucking thing. I feel like I'm going crazy because like the things that I'm describing are like very basic, like this is how you make a game, but these are not things that we've had in Call of Duty for like ever. Like it's actually building, like it feels like a real video game. And along that same path, it feels like they aren't as interested in making like this immersive experience, this like gritty, realistic, tell like a moral at the end of this whole thing story as like 2019 did. But more so, they're just giving you like a good space, a good avenue to feel like a badass, right? In something like Emergence is probably a good fucking example. But in Ground Control, this is the one where you team up with Sims. By the way, I'll talk about them in a minute. Love that they brought back Park and Sims for like a minute. But you're with Sims and you're breaking through the airport, and they just throw in a mission where you jump in a tank and the fucking rock music, the fucking guitar comes in and you're just fucking barreling over people. And it had that like classic Call of Duty, just like I'm a fucking badass kind of vibe about it that I fucking loved. And that was found everywhere throughout this whole thing. It was just like this sense of like, all right, how do we make the player feel fucking phenomenal? So that's what I love about BO6. Is that in a completely different way than CODs have been good the last like few years. They went in a completely different direction and they fucking nailed it, in my opinion. Let's see. I thought the big twist would be that you're just slaughtering employees, but now I'm wondering how much of Emergence is real. Yeah, dude, I thought that exact same thing. So when I made the video about this mission, the open world mission, someone commented like, "Oh, this is like a Far Cry in Call of Duty," which I never really made the connection there before. However, I got Far Cry vibes going through Emergence because I think it's Far Cry 5. They have a very similar mission where you're like fighting through, I don't think they're literal zombies. I don't remember what exactly they are, but like you're killing like a bunch of fake things. They don't exist. You're high as a kite off of their like their drug. And then at the very end it's revealed like, "Oh no, you were just killing all of your allies that whole time." JK, and I thought that was the same direction that they were going, to be honest. I don't know how much of it is real, but also I don't know that it matters, you know? Like, is a huge Art Deco room real, or did that door lead into a big sphere room? I mean, he had to have gotten the key cards, right? He would have had to somehow get into the elevator to go up to meet them, right? I like a good mystery, but I felt let down not knowing how much was real. I'd be fine with that if the mystery of what's real came up later, but it didn't. What outside of this mission are you confused about what's real? Like the final mission, I mean, obviously it takes place inside of her head and outside of it, but I think it's pretty clear that like what we're playing through in her head is like a dream sequence, right? It's a like weird place. It's whatever the fuck Belle was going through, right? Whatever Mason was going through back in the first BO game. I don't know. I felt like it wasn't that crazy to like wrap my head around. I might be dumb, though. I might just be accepting things that shouldn't be accepted. Praying Season 1 Zombies doesn't have any manglers. Man, they're going to have... Manglers are here to stay. Megaton should be brought back to BO6 for at least one map instead of manglers for the quadrillionth time. Yeah, I was surprised that Megatons... They weren't even in Modern Warfare Zombies, were they? I was just thinking about that the other day. I was like, when was the last time we got a new boss? But yeah. Let's see. Hold on. Did I miss anything? I feel like I missed a bunch. Mangler spam has been so insane that I'm seeing a lot of memes about them. I just love them. Oh, speaking of, I finally did the Liberty Falls Easter egg the other day. I think I did everything else that there really is to do on Liberty Falls. So now I've moved on to Terminus. I just figured out how to do I watched a Raffle Waffles video on how to build the Beam Smasher. And so my next step now is the Easter egg over there. But we'll see. Nothing. I'm saying the fact that the mystery of what happened in Emergence and what was just a drug trip never comes up. Well... So that is another something that I don't think I necessarily like. And that is how kind of like the ending is presented. Let me just... What if we just play through the ending quick? Would that be good? That would be kosher. What I don't like is just how kind of ambiguous it is about whether or not... I mean, I actually, maybe it's not super ambiguous. I'll play it in a minute. But I think the idea that they're trying to get across is that Jane and not Prometheus. What the fuck? Who are the bad guys? Jane and fucking Prometheus. Whatever. They experimented on Case. Case was one of their experiments. That Pantheon. Thank you. I couldn't look. I was about to say Perseus again. Pantheon. I love this campaign. Can't think of the bad guys' names apparently. I believe what in like the final moments they do confirm that like yeah like Case was a someone who they experimented on and it kind of stuck, you know, that programming was still in there. I believe that's been confirmed, right? Like in the final like bit there. I'm gonna replay it quick on Recruit just to you know it's mostly background noise here. Maybe if Case saw something in that trip. When he came to, he was wondering if it really happened or not. And when you first wake up and try to remember if it was real or a dream. I think some of that is like the limitation of the silent protagonist, which I also don't like. going back again to the initial question of like, what would I change? I would make Case a real person. I really don't like silent protagonist, especially when you can like select shit for him to say. It just feels weird to me. That said, I'm like, I still wish he spoke, but I'm not like super against it. Like, I think it works here. And there were multiple times in here where I felt like old school like Roach vibes. You know what I mean? I'm realizing now, hold on. Am I playing the mission or did I play? Okay, yeah. I didn't know if I hit just the cinematic. Give him a set name, gender, skin color, but no voice or face is really weird. Yeah. I'd even be fine with no face, but just like a voice. Something that like when he's talking. I did think it was comical. Going back to the video game thing. Whenever you see him in first person or in third person, he's just like covered head to toe in in gear. Like, it's very clearly, like, I don't know. It's very, like, tongue-in-cheek, like, yeah, you're not supposed to see this guy. Did you ever play the 2017 World War II campaign? I did. I think I played it recently on stream, even. I thought it was pretty good. I think that this game has a beat. I'm also not a huge fan of World War II games in general, though. See, like, this is such a good bit as well. Whole like Woods' helplessness or perceived helplessness, and how like she doesn't even like make sure he's dead. She just like stabs him and is like, "Ah, fuck it. Like, you're not even worth it." I think she might have a line about it. Yeah, you just don't even matter anymore. It's great. I love how these subtitles are massive. I really should have made them smaller. Also, how does Adler have access to all these psychedelic drugs? At least 3. I don't know, but I love that he was so willing. Like the second that Jane gets captured, he just like runs out to his fucking car. Oh, I'm inverted. Hold on, I was doing machinima. He just runs out to his car, and is like, "Dude, I got this." Aiming. There we go. Comes back in with the bell drugs. I did actually really like the how like it gets brought back. I was also curious in the Sims mission. Sims calls him Doc a whole bunch. Is he a doctor? Oh shit! I almost killed myself with that grenade. My settings are also set to toggle, not hold. That's weird as fuck. I've never actually played like this. Yeah, the player character from BO3. Yeah, that was weird. He didn't even have a name back then. The BO3 campaign is one of the few that I haven't gone back and replayed over the last few years. Oh, hold on. Honestly, hold on. Do I have a... No, that's all I got. There's a lot of the... Oh my god, again, I keep forgetting to do this. Did not mean to pick this up. Again, on like a gameplay level, this is one of the only like COD campaigns or like Call of Duty modes that I feel like the Warzone elements of like looting and armor and, well, maybe not so much armor, but like money, like I feel like it all actually works well here, you know? Like they all mix like purposefully, if that makes sense. Did work at the Cradle place. He does administer drugs, so I'd hope so. It's just interesting. Like, has anyone seen him ever as a doctor? Like, is that written in Intel anywhere? I think Daniel is the protagonist in World War II. Get more of a connection to the player as compared to BO6. I think I agree with that. But again, it might be because it's very video gamey. In the same way that, like, old school CODs were. Like, MW2. The original MW2. That, like, I was getting Roach vibes, you know? Like, the entire time that I'm fighting this, I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, dude. We're gonna do something important, you know? I'm not thinking Case is gonna do something badass. I'm thinking I'm about to do something badass. And then look at this Fast and the Furious shit. Ready? He's hanging from this thing. He's like, oh no! Well. And then fucking one shot, one kill. And then he gets kicked off, right? If I remember this correctly. He fucking jumps down to the next one. This is like old school, you know, killing Makarov levels of fucking ridiculous, over the top, you know. I mean, granted, it's QuickTime events, but also Makarov was QuickTime events, right? Yeah, and then fucking kills him accidentally. See, I love this sequence. It's a really good over-the-top fucking Fast and the Furious. It kind of reminded me of COD Ghosts. You'll see in a minute once you fall into the water. It's very COD Ghosts. Which, to be fair, I didn't like COD Ghosts, but I don't know. It's so goofy, and I love it. Yeah, goofy is a good way of putting it. They really amped up the goof. I don't actually remember what happens here. Wait, is the cradle breaks or something? Hold on. I think it's also ambiguous, right? Whether or not Case makes it out. See, like, this whole part, I wish they had built up a little bit more for sure. Like, his connection to the cradle. I think as an ending it works. I just wish that there was, like, one or two more, like, key points before to, like, give you some hints. And maybe some stuff that would retroactively explain it a little bit more. Murder! Murder! See, I think this is pretty fucking... Granted, he did pop an eyeball out of that one of that one security guard at one point. So it is a lot less crazy. It's not Call of Duty game without a helicopter crash scene. Dude, I didn't even notice until now. Yeah, they're But there wasn't a train crash. I don't think. Yeah, and then it just ends with Marshall yelling, "It's over, we did it, Case." And I think that's implied then that Case is dead. But of course, he doesn't have a voice, so... You know? Because then he isn't seen here. I did also think it was weird that Felix, like they tease he gets shot by the bridge and you have to go save him. Really thought Felix was going to be dead there. Once again, Call of Duty does not kill their main characters. Except, I mean, I guess Jane, right? And Case, although Case was kind of the faceless dude. A bit like the zombie mission, instead of thinking, what is this character taking? I think, whoa, how many of the drugs did I take? Yeah, exactly. It puts you... I think the benefit of a silent protagonist is that you can put yourself in that character's shoes pretty well. A lot of games, specifically COD, I think do not do that well enough anymore. Outside of like MW2, I don't think any fucking CODs do that good at all. Besides this one, I think this one it did actually work. Whole point was that everyone else was immobile. In Case was the only one that can stop Jane. Yeah, wait, what are we talking about here? I mean that was why he had to run after them. Least derelict for multiplayer has abandoned train carts. Still no train go boom. Look, we can make the train go boom on our own time. We can put C4 on that shit.
The Cold War may be over, but the world is more dangerous. The nature of our enemy.
Now, upcoming, I want the chats. I want y'all's actual first reactions when you saw what's about to happen. Assuming that you played this before, right? I mean, like I said, it's full spoilers. But what is your genuine reaction to this scene? I'm going to be quiet for a minute.
Still lives inside our house. We thought they were long gone.
What is your immediate reaction to that final reveal? Who's that guy? Should I know him? Who the fuck is that guy? That's what I thought. Good. Okay, I'm not crazy. Oh shit, hold on. They're playing some music. I can't. Blah, 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 blah. There we go. Is that Daddy Mason? Okay, good. I wasn't the only one. So, like I said, I played this immediately when it dropped in New Zealand. 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Blazed through it. I finished around like 2 or 3 o'clock, right? And that was my same reaction as Tech is my jam, as Jaren, Deadly, Diamond, everybody. Who the fuck is this guy? What the fuck? What should we know? And because it had just came out, I was one of the first people to finish it. I went on like fucking Reddit. No one's talking about it. I went on Twitter. No one's talking about it. I found one video where someone had uploaded this. It had like 1,000 views, 6 comments, and one of the comments said, "Oh my God, Mason's back." And boy, I didn't even watch the fucking cinematic back again. I just took it as like, oh my God, that is Mason. And for like an hour that day, I was so hyped because I thought that they actually did bring Mason back, that like they actually did the whole the truth lies thing, and they were lying to us the entire time about Mason actually being dead. And oh my God, there he is. And like, oh man, where can the story go from here? Will it fit in to 2025, that storyline? Or are they like redoing it? Are they saving this for the next game? Or is this post-launch? What the fuck are they doing with Mason? And like an hour later, I rewatched the cinematic. It's 1,000% not Mason. It's just a random guy. I don't know what that reveal was supposed to do for us, because it's just like a dude. I believe it's one of the operators for multiplayer, but we don't know anything about him. The only thing, and I don't know, that this might, the only thing is that he shows up in the very first or very second cinematic. He shows up to sit. He doesn't say anything, but you'll see he's in the room. He's like the stenographer or whatever, or like he's running the computer or something. It's Kane, apparently. Yeah, Kane is the name. I couldn't think of his name, but yeah. No one knows who he is. Yeah, there he is in the back corner. You only see him because at some point they cut to him, and I remember at the time being like, "This is such a weird shot. Why did they include this?" So it's implying that like there's more Pantheon spies in the CIA, right? That like this guy Kane was in on it. But like, I don't know. After the roller coaster of thinking it's Mason and then finding out it wasn't, it was such a letdown to me. I'm curious to see where it goes. I'm hoping that this means that there's going to be a post-launch story that's actually like thought out and like is connected in the same way that Cold War did. We'll see. Because I don't think that if they were just teasing the next game, they would just tease it with a random dude's face. That like that's weird. Wasn't he the guy in the first? Oh yeah, the first cutscene. Yep, exactly, 1,000%. Sorry, I didn't even read your comment before pulling it up. Oh yep, Jaren was also beat me to it. What if the guy at the end cutscene was the same guy who killed Harrow's family? That would be a twist. I don't think the ages make sense though. I mean, maybe. Who the hell knows? Ages in the Black Ops timeline are so fucking weird. Woods should be like 112 in BO2. Am I the only one who thinks the new Mason looks nothing like the old one? Even his voice is different. Oh yeah. Cold War did Mason so dirty. His voice is completely different. The first one was voiced by Sam Worthington. In my opinion, such a great voice actor. Such an iconic voice. If you don't know, he's also like the main guy in the Avatar movies. The Jake Sully, the Blue People Avatar. So I think he's just too damn expensive. And so they cheaped out and they got someone else. Same thing with Woods. Woods they recast in Cold War. I think that was a different thing. Same thing even came back for BO4, bro. Yeah, both of them. So Woods and Mason's original voice actors, they both came back for BO4. That was their last one. Cold War started, now these new people. Which, like, I think Woods is all right. Woods has grown on me. I think Cold War is a little eh. Here, I think he knocks it out of the park. It might just be that I'm more used to it by now. But obviously Mason isn't there. And Mason in Cold War I don't think is very good at all, if I'm being honest. Did the same for MW2, I think. They recast Ghost voice actor. Oh, yeah, I think we were talking about that a bit ago. Yeah, in between 2019 and 22, they recasted Ghost. Love Avatar. Man, are they ever making any more of those sequels? They put out the one. The second one's got to be coming pretty soon, right? I thought they were like just before. Harrow's Killer doesn't really matter besides it being that it's not Adler. That it's not Adler or it's possibly Adler. I think that's a part of it is like the idea of like not knowing and that it does not fucking matter. You know? Yeah, Cold War did seasonal story really well, told well via cutscenes at the start of the season and maps that were visited. Yeah. Like the start and the end of the season. It was one thing that MW22 couldn't do. They I don't know if they didn't have the budget for it or what, but every season set up a new conflict, right? Oh my god, Coney Group has invaded Vondel, and then oh my god, Graves is back, and then oh my god, the Las Almas cartel is showing up, and they just never resolved any of them, and they never went anywhere. You know what I mean? I don't know if anyone knows that Reznov was also recast in BO4. Actually, yeah, I did know that. When I made that BO4 video, I remember going back and being like, this doesn't even sound Russian. Who the fuck? Who's this French dude? Oh, yeah, so was it Adler that killed him or not? They just said, no, it's not. She was like, okay, it's not. It would fit Adler's whole thing. It would. Again, I don't think that it truly matters. I don't think it truly matters what the real answer is, but I think that it's not Adler. Even when it happened, again, going back to like ages don't mean anything in the Black Ops universe. Harrow's like, we'll call her 35. She was maybe 10 when everything happened, so this was 25 years ago. How old is Adler? Is Adler old enough to have like been doing that? I don't know. I always thought Adler was maybe like at most like 10 years older than these guys. So I guess that would make him 20, right? When Harrow's parents are killed. Anyone know that David Mason was also in BO4? He was in Blackout. Yeah. I saw someone leave a comment on that BO4 video. It actually you might have. Yeah, someone left a comment about David Mason being there. I had no idea. I forgot about that entirely. But I think it's probably the same thing as Hudson, right? Where they just kind of retconned stuff to make sense. You're going to have to make Adler immortal for it to all work at some point. Yeah. I will say, I loved how they wove the Menendez story and the Adler story kind of together in a way that was not front and center, but was still told. Because I felt like going into this, they kind of wrote themselves into a corner. Because back in BO2, you show, Woods has this feud with Menendez. Kills his friends. Puts him in a damn wheelchair. Life-changing moment, right? Life-changing conflict. But, and that just happened, right? A year or two before this. But because none of that resurfaces for another 30 years, you can't tell more to that story. Because in the timeline, that doesn't happen. But for Woods, it would be fresh. For Woods, it would be this, like, oh my, that just happened, It would be this massive, massive thing. So I loved how they really just built it into his character. How he views himself and how the world views him, right? They didn't have him like, fucking Menendez, they didn't bother putting Menendez in here because it wouldn't have made sense. But what they did do was they kind of wove that into Adler's story, right? Where Adler took the fall for Hudson for being the mole, and so he got ousted because of everything that happened in Nicaragua. They didn't show any of it, but also I don't think that they could have shown it without there being some expectation of like seeing Menendez or seeing that come to fruition. I'm curious to know anyone who didn't play the original BO2, who like maybe jumped in like Cold War, if they were like confused and they're like, what the hell happened? Like they felt like they were missing a scene or something. Because it's very difficult, because I don't think that they could have shown the scene if they weren't going to like include Menendez at any point, because like it would feel weird. It'd feel like they were setting something up and then they don't follow through, you know? But I think they did it pretty well for someone like me, who's a 15-year veteran of the series, knows everything, knows all the lore, literally played BO2 the day before. I thought it worked. Seems like the seasonal story in BO6 will be good. The 2 revealed maps are in Avalon, and they said the season was themed around the criminal underworld. Have they? I saw that they revealed, I thought they were, I believe they revealed 3 total maps, but I only saw a quick fly-through of the maps. Did they reveal anything else? I went to the COD blog. I couldn't see if there was a post. Did they reveal anything about that? I'd be really curious. It does. I mean, the maps look great, and that sounds pretty good. The criminal underworld part. And I hope that it's good, because again, like this game, I think has a level of polish and attention to detail and like actual thought that has gone into it a lot more than previous years. That I'm thinking and I'm hoping the post-launch will be more of that. And Larva knows he's timeless. His glasses are timeless. There was a moment when you like first break him out. There was a very fuck. Did Captain Price do this at some point, or am I making things up? He had a very Captain Price-esque moment where they were like, "Are you ready to go?" And then he like he grabs his glasses off the table and he goes, "Now I am." Takes a gun, and I don't think the Black Ops chord came in or not, but if not, like some kind of musical cue happened, and he fucking keeps going. Only put in there again to be badass. That Fast and the Furious shit, you know. This game wanted to be more Fast and the Furious than it wanted to be fucking Citizen Kane. You know what I mean? And that's great. You love some Fast and the Furious until they got fucking crazy. Embassy when the helicopter crashes. That is another example of it, but I feel like it was the original. Maybe I'm thinking of when he kills Makarov and he puts the cigar in his mouth. I feel like there was one in BO, or I'm sorry, in MW2, but I can't fully remember right now. Anyway, Adley seems maybe in his late 40s in this game. I'm sure that it's actually there, right? He's fit. Okay. Oh yeah. It seems like Lad Scott. All right. So Jane is in her 30s in 1991, and he's 55, so he'd be in his mid 20s. He'd be 23 exactly. Okay. All right. So I guess that. All right. I guess it checks out. There should have been selective dialogue choices in BO6 asking about how Woods got captured by Menendez in Angola. We literally never got told how that happens. Man, that whole part of the Black Ops timeline is fucking weird. Because Black Ops Declassified exists, the PS Vita game. If I remember correctly, it's been a while since I made a video for a different channel cataloging the entire Black Ops story. And in BO1, Woods and I think it's Kravchenko, right? Jump out the window with the grenade, and they're both presumed KIA. Then the next time that we see him is in BO2, where they find him in Angola. And I think a lot of other people assumed cause and effect, right? After he went out the window, something happened, and he ends up under Menendez, or rather captured by Menendez in Angola. But there's actually the spin-off game right in between. By other channel, was it one you owned or for something else? No, something else. It was a T-Dog video. If anyone watches T-Dog Smitty, he made a Black Ops video that I edited and helped write for. But right in between BO1 and BO2, there was a game, Black Ops Declassified, on the Vita. And in that game, that is actually where Woods resurfaces. Woods comes back, like, I don't fully remember who he was captured by, but it wasn't Menendez. After all that, he comes back after like a year in captivity, and he does a bunch of shit during Black Ops Declassified, and then it ends with him being recaptured now by Menendez. And it's like, why did this happen? It's actually retcon because of Cold War. On the map Cartel, you can find Menendez's dad's dead body in the house of one of the map's spawn points. That's news to me. I didn't realize that. I mean, I knew Menendez's dad, but what does that have to do with the classified? Did you include the part where Mason gets captured in a Cuban mansion, needs to be rescued by 3 random guys, the iconic first mission for the Black Ops DS? I don't think so. I think even for that bit in the video, we were like, okay, so it's kind of muddy if this is actually canon or not, but... And then we just kind of, like, info dumped, I think. They didn't do a full reveal, but apparently the maps were on the leaked BR map, and I don't know about the 2v2 map. It's kind of hard to tell based on the fly-through. Oh, wait! Of those 3 that they showed, one of them was 2v2? Back up, I think. Why do I even bother? Apparently, if you search outside the map skyline, you find a low... Ooh, firing range. You know, I want to make a video, and I probably will make this video. I want to make a video exploring Avalon. I think maybe this weekend. So, as far as uploads for this week, I'm working on a tour of Nuketown that I wanted to get up for tomorrow, but I'm going to be honest, I only just recorded the VO for it just before starting this stream. So it'll probably end up being Wednesday. Wednesday will be the accurate tour of Nuketown, and then this weekend I want to make like a lighter video, a quicker video that I think I'm going to like explore Avalon a little bit in spectator cam and see what there is to see, you know? I'm sure other people have done that by now, but I want to do it. Hold on, I'm looking at my other monitor through. Whoops, were these 2v2 maps? Oh, maybe Hideout is 2v2. Looking pretty small. Oh, Heirloom is 2v2 and 6v6. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. It's both. Does that mean that there's a strike version of it? Regardless, I'm liking that we're getting new maps. Declassified, the final mission is us as an unnamed CIA agent going to kill Menendez's dad in a mansion or some crap. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I definitely did not know about that. Let's see. Just means face off. All of them are 2v2 and 6v6. Wait, it just means face off. I'm not sure what you mean. I assume 6v6 is for face off. Oh. Well, that's very confusing. Wait, why not just say face off then? Hold on, let me watch this again. I'm sorry, you guys can't see what I'm watching, but if you go to Call of Duty's Twitter, Heirloom is the one. Oh yeah, maybe it is all inside. Okay, interesting. That's such a dumb way of fucking phrasing that, though. Regardless, maybe that means we'll actually get some good face-off maps. Because, oh boy, 2 of those 4 are hot dog shit. One of those 4 is, like, not great. And one of them is okay. Find it weird how BO6 campaign doesn't start fire like the other Black Ops games do. Oh, interesting. Wait, does it not? Let me see. What does it start with? Oh, it has like an intro sequence, doesn't it? I guess usually it opens right with fire, like once you get into first person. Anyway. You know how COD Next they announced they called them strike maps to simplify it, and they haven't called them strike maps since. Yeah, they also, I thought, maybe it's because strike is what they called the maps in Cold War, but I'd assumed that strike meant like there is a normal version and then a smaller version for Face Off. But that's not really the case, because like there's no bigger version of Gala or Warhead. There is kind of a bigger version of Pit in that there's Vorkuta on top and Pit is below, but like they're not quite the same. Like I was kind of expecting each strike map to also have, or rather, yeah, each strike map to have a larger variant, you know? But I guess not. Gala never seems to get picked at all. Everyone picks either the apartment one or the destroyed Nuketown. Man, so I might make a video about this. I probably will, because I gotta make something in between this week and season 1 on the 14th. But face-off maps. There's 4 of them. Stakeout. The worst map I have ever fucking played. And somehow, inexplicably, the only one that anyone votes for. I think because it's a shipment map, it's a meat grinder. And like, look, I don't like shipment. I much prefer shipment to stakeout. Stakeout is so fucking bad. I'd never know where I am. It's so cluttered. I spawn, die, spawn, die, spawn, die. I can't do anything, right? The pit is very, very similar. A little bit better in that, like, usually I can get out of my spawn. Still not very good. Gala is the one that I was saying is, like, not terrible. The thing with Gala is everything is everything you can shoot through. And it feels really weird, especially with Recon right now. You have wall hacks and you don't have walls. Like, you just shoot people off spawn. You know exactly where the hell they are. And then Warhead is the other one. Warhead, I like. It's not like an amazing map or anything. I think compared to the others, though, it's a breath of fresh air. It's the only one that I will ever fucking vote for. But yeah, I honestly, I've been finding I've had a lot more fun in regular quick play. And there's some tiny maps in quick play. There's Subsonic. There's Babylon. You know, there's Payback. All pretty small maps that like show up pretty frequently, and I feel actually like I get excited when they show up because I'm like, oh fuck yeah, dude, I can grind through my Model L right now, like I have that same kind of feel that I used to when Shipment or Nuketown would come up in regular rotation. B1 is the lighter, BO2 has the guy in the fire in the truck, BO3 has the fire burning the fire truck. Oh, I didn't think of that. Yeah, well, BO4 doesn't exist. And then, yeah, Cold War has a lighter like BO1. Yeah. I'm curious to know where the story goes from here. In my head, Cold War, I mean, everything really after BO4, as far as the Black Ops, well, as far as the series in general, after BO4, obviously, like, it was a big reboot. In my head, Black Ops, even though it exists in the same universe, I feel like they are definitely like... This feels like a completely new story, right? While Hudson and Mason were in the first Cold War, they're gone by now. I think we're officially into like new territory, which to me is exciting because over in Modern Warfare land, we're kind of doing the same thing that we did before because it's a fucking reboot. But I'm actually excited to see like where this story goes. And while obviously if they want 2025 to like still be canon, there's some pieces to the board that can't be moved certain ways, but I want to know where Adler ends up. I want to see like if Park and Sims show back up in other ways. By the way, I think I like just kind of brushed past it. I love the inclusion of Park and Sims. I thought like they used them a good amount without having them overstay their welcome. I especially love that they brought Sims back, and Sims now is like an actual decorated like military like soldier guy doing shit by the books after after everything that happened with Bell. And his and Adler's kind of a contention You know, they're back and forth of like, look, man, we're doing this shit my way. Adler has Case fucking kill that guy in the jet engine, and Sim steps in and is like, no, fuck you, we're doing this my way. You know, it's nice. I like it. It was good. Yeah, but Diamond C4 badge without stakeout would make me pull my hair out. That just means don't get it. I don't know. I hope this year's Warzone, or whatever they're calling it, is like Blackout. Blackout will always be better than Warzone in my heart. Interesting. I'm not a BR guy at all, but of the BR that I use, or that of the BR that I have played, Warzone is still the best that I have played. The fact that in Blackout you die and then you're just done, like that, you know, it's such a turn off, I guess, for me. Like in Warzone, you die, you got the gulag, you got buybacks, you have jailbreak, all kinds of ways to get back, and make sure that the game keeps going. For me, I mean, I've talked about it a million times. I'll probably end up making a video about this. It'll be a bigger video, but I wish that Warzone would do more that isn't just BR, or BR based. Like, even Resurgence is based off of BR. It's just BR with fucking respawns. Plunder is still kind of BR based. I want to see new actual game modes built around it. Or I want to see Ground War come in. I want to see Ground War just slotted in on the Warzone engine, because I feel like that's where it works best. That's where the maps are. That's where the people are. And it would be a very good mode for Warzone players to actually like level up their weapons instead of having to jump into fucking shipment, you know? Because they'd be using the weapons in the actual game engine that they're fucking playing in, on the map that they're playing in, with vehicles and all the rest of the sandbox, you know? I think it'd be good. Warzone literally took Alcatraz from BO4 and painted Rebirth Island over it, bro. Yeah, I mean, they do that all the time. I mean, Alcatraz already was pulled from Mob of the Dead. Like, it all gets recycled. It's all the same franchise. Fortnite's knockoff Rebirth is actually peak BR gameplay. Really interesting. I'm not a massive fan of loadouts in BR. That's why I like Blackout more. You know, I'll give you that. I don't like loadouts either in BR. I do feel like there's no longer. Let me preface my opinion by saying I have not played Warzone. I played 3 games of Warzone 3.0 when MW3 came out, and I maybe played like 5 or 6 hours of Warzone 2 ever, right? But I feel like when I see people talk about BR, when I see gameplay of BR, and when I played BR, any weapons that you pick up off the ground are just a means to an end. It's just like, all right, I have this gun. I'm going to use it for 90 seconds while I get enough money to get a loadout drop and just get my real fucking gun. And that, to me, like, is just so antithetical of, like, the core of what BR is, which is supposed to be everyone's on, like, a level playing field, and you get in, get your shit, and you know, fight with what you got. And that's what makes it exciting, is you don't know what weapons you're going to get. You don't know what equipment you're going to get. That kind of organic storytelling throughout it, you know, each match is a different story, that whole thing, I don't think is like helped at all by loadouts, if that makes sense. That said, though, I used to think the same thing about zombies, but now I feel like I've turned on the loadouts and zombies thing. I like that they're there. If I'm being honest, at this point, with just how like the money and currency system works, though, in zombies, I very rarely keep whatever weapon I go in with. I always buy a wall weapon on round like 12 once they're like blue or above, because it just doesn't make any fiscal sense to spend so much salvage upgrading your gray weapon that you went in with when you can just buy a wall weapon or a mystery box or whatever. Anyway, Blackout also had wonder weapons from zombies in it. Those were cool. I will say, I mean, Blackout definitely had a lot of like really fun aspects to it. They had like the zombies on certain areas of the map. The mystery box. They had character quests where, like, if you went and picked up, a bloody T-shirt. I think that was Reznov's, or maybe it was Mason's. But you had to, like, pick up a bloody T-shirt. And then in that same game, while holding the T-shirt, you had to go to a certain spot and get a kill with a sniper rifle from, like, 500 meters or whatever. And you did that, and you unlocked a new operator, Shit like that, I think, was really fun. Of course, you can't do that anymore with store bundles being, the way that you unlock anything. Wingsuits were also peak. They were fucking phenomenal. The whole, like, the trajectory that you had to, that kind of, like, learning curve, literally, I really liked. Gusev almost got the jet gun treatment. Hope this year's Warzone, or whatever they call it. Oh, I fucking said that already. Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to see what Season 1 holds. But the fact that we're only 2 weeks out, or rather, that we are almost 2 full weeks out, and we're already seeing clips of the multiplayer maps. I really didn't expect to get any info until maybe Friday of this week. Right? Because, hold on, the 14th, that's 10 days from now. 14th is next Thursday. I really didn't think we'd get a blog post until, like, a week out at most. Maybe Friday or Monday. So the fact that we're already getting stuff like the multiplayer maps, to me, reads that, like, oh, there's a lot more to come. That, like, they're going to be drip feeding all this info out pretty soon. And hopefully that means that they're doing a lot for Warzone. But we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening here. Yeah, I think that's about it, honestly. I talked about the campaign, got all that out of my system. Talked a little bit about zombies and multiplayer, even. Exit campaign. We missing anything? We talked about zombies a little bit, too, even. Man, we hit everything. This is a fucking podcast and a half. A little bit of a shorter stream today. But, yeah, I think I'm going to wrap it up here soon, though, because I got to finish this. Well, actually, let me rephrase. I need to start this Nuketown tour to hopefully get it out for Wednesday. Again, be on the lookout. Wednesday, new tour. Saturday or Sunday, somewhere in there. Expect a new video as well. And then maybe I'll do another video before Season 1 drops. I don't know. I'm probably going to have to, right? I don't know what video. I got like 12. I'll think of one of them and I'll pick them. Let me know what you guys want to see. Yeah. That's about it. Like the video, subscribe to the video, fucking Pinterest the video. I don't know. I'll see you guys on the next one. As far as streams, I'll probably end up streaming like on Wednesday or fucking Thursday. I'll stream it another day this week, most likely. Just playing multiplayer, kicking it, whatever. As we do here. Have a good rest of your evening too. Go to Rocco's. And if you're in America, vote tomorrow. Unless you're not eligible to vote. I realize that a lot of people under 18 would probably watch this. If you're able to vote, tomorrow vote. That's all. All right. Subscribe to that video. Everyone better be subscribing to the video. If you're not subscribing to the video, I'm going to be really upset.